And we are live. Yo, welcome back. Woo! Hey,
Welcome back.
It's the return of Totally Recalled MMA.
Yes, sir.
Look, everyone, we have a long overdue show for y'all. Totally Recalled is back. And of course, if you're watching this, then you probably already know why. Guys, I hear there's a lot of gold on the line on Saturday night going down in Jacksonville, Florida. How are y'all doing? Are you guys excited for UFC 249 this weekend? Let me know.
You got it, Ray.
All right, let me take it off. First, I'm going to say it's nice being back with the boys. It's been long overdue, and I'm happy we can get it going. But, yeah, dude, I'm super excited for this weekend. Finally, the fights are here. Like you said, there's a bunch of gold on the line. I'm the most excited for Gaethje, Tony, obviously. Like, I cannot wait for that fight. I really wish it was Khabib and Tony because I've been waiting for that fight for a very long time. It's been booked how many times? What, 5 times?
Yeah, something like that.
It's been booked 5 times. So that was one of the fights I look forward to. But anyways, I'm so excited for this weekend. Let's get it going.
Hey, man, it's been long overdue. 2 years since the last episode. I mean, hey, what a better time to come back than the ill-fated UFC 249 that I feel like we've been waiting for like a whole year. So, I mean, I'm all here for it. I'll take anything, to be honest. And it's like, I think it's the most stacked card since like UFC 200. So,
yeah, guys,
honestly,
this card is stacked. I mean, we decided that we're only going to get into a couple of fights on tonight's show. I mean, let's just kick it right off the bat and just talk about what we can expect out of the main event. So the main event is for the 155-pound lightweight interim championship title. That's Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Woo! You know what? We know both these fighters. You know, we've been watching them. We've been ready for them to fight. Ray, I mean, how do you think this fight's gonna go?
Okay, see, I'm really torn right now because I love both of these fighters so much, but I just feel like it's for grabs. I feel like it's for 50-50. I'm leaning towards Gaethje just because he's just so chaotic. But like lately, he's been like very composed. Like his last couple of fights, he fought like a smart Gaethje and a scary Gaethje. And a lot of people don't know he can wrestle also. But Tony always finds a way to cut you open. So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna go with Gaethje just because. Dude, I don't know. That's my boy. I'm probably being biased, but that's my boy.
Yeah, what you think, man? How do you think this one's gonna go?
It's crazy because I've seen Gaethje like grow as an MMA fighter through years and years. Because I remember watching him in the WSOF and used to have like insane fights that it's like he'd be like leg kicking people, winning by leg kick TKOs, and like to see him actually in a UFC title fight, it's just crazy to see how much he's grown since then. I mean, honestly, I feel like it could honestly be 50-50 because I really don't think we've seen Tony against a power puncher like Gaethje before, because Tony's fought hard hitters, but I don't think he's fought a guy like Justin Gaethje just based on what he's been able to do.
I like y'all's takes. I do. I definitely don't think that Tony has fought as hard of a hitter as Justin, but man, Justin likes to block shots with his head. And, and I can hardly understand half the words that come out of his mouth when he speaks. Term around punch drunk, punched. And I think after Tony's done with him on Saturday night, man, I'm predicting a 4th round submission or just a total 25-minute ass whooping by Ferguson. Of course, it could go either way.
Okay.
I like Gaethje too. What y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, a lot of people think what's going to happen is Gaethje's going to like drop Tony early in the rounds, and then Tony's going to like bring him into deep waters and get that Darce choke on him. That's what a lot of people think. But I feel like I got to go with Tony, because Gaethje says in a lot of interviews that he needs a full camp to fight the style he does. I remember him talking about him with Brendan Schaub, I believe, and he said he needs like 10 weeks to fight the crazy chaos that he does. And he said to Brett Okamoto, like, he can do a good 18, 19 minutes. He said that honestly, which is crazy how honest you can be. But I mean, if Tony could withstand that big right hand, left hand, I feel like Tony can take it to the deep waters and last it out.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. You know, I definitely think Tony, like I would favor Tony in a matchup against Justin, regardless, even if they had the same amount of fight camp. They've been training for the same amount of time. But I just think that it's a little too short notice for Justin. And that, you know, Tony's, I was listening to the media call today. Tony said, man, he's been training since like December. That's I mean,
insane.
And he made weight. And he made weight for everybody.
It's crazy motherfucker, man. I don't know. Like I'm just at the point where I'm like I said, I'm rooting for Gaethje. That's who I'm going for. But like just like you guys are saying, like on paper and how everything lines up, I can see why it's all leaning towards Tony. I remember Gaethje mentioning, like when bout first got announced, I remember him mentioning about his weight too. So just all of this stuff happening so fast. So that could be a factor. But I'm a huge Gaethje fan, so I'm going Gaethje all the way.
I mean, hey man, it's MMA. Anything can happen.
Hey, anything can happen. And we'll talk about what the ramifications are going to be, you know, of the winner of this fight. You know, obviously a title shot is on the line for the unified belt against, you know, Khabib or whoever Khabib might fight. We'll talk about that later. Let's move on to the next fight, which is another belt that's on the line, up for grabs. This is the bantamweight title, 135 pounds. This is the official strap with Triple C coming in there. Ooh. I love Triple C, man. I love this little dude. He's gonna beat the brakes off Dominick Cruz, but you know, I'll listen to y'all.
Whoa!
Why not?
Whoa!
Go ahead.
All right.
Ooh.
No, you got it.
Okay. Well, I don't think he's gonna beat the brakes off Dominic. Let's just get that out the window. I don't think that Henry has fought anyone that fights like Dominic, with the exception of Mighty Mouse. They have that same kind of like pressure, that same kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that he's fought anyone that's going to be just like him. So I'm really looking forward to Dominic outclassing him, doing his thing. I think he's been injury free for a while. I think he's going to come in looking great. What do you guys think about that?
I think that you know, we really don't know how good Dominick Cruz is. Dominick Cruz's last fight was how long ago? Was it 2 or 3 years ago? It was a title defense in which he lost. I'm pretty sure he lost all 5 rounds of that fight against Garbrandt, who went on. And I thought at the time I was really impressed with Garbrandt. I think since then Cody's been exposed a little bit. I think his chin is absolutely gone. And but I thought Dominic looked all right in that fight. I think he stated that he was injured, so maybe he wasn't 100% in his last fight. So we don't really know how good he's going to be. I'm kind of just going off of how good Henry has looked. What do you think, Tommy?
I mean, how do you prepare for Dominick Cruz? Honestly, nobody fights like him. His style is so unordinary, and he fought Cejudo fought someone like Cruz in Dillashaw, and he KO'd him in 30 seconds. So honestly,
but it doesn't.
There's a lot of factors. You don't think so? You don't think so?
Okay.
Early stoppage.
Okay. I'll go with you on that then. But it didn't. I wish I could have saw more exchanges in that fight. It happened so fast. But like you are right. He did fight someone like Dominic. He was exactly like Dominic. But dude, I don't know.
I think Cruz can win. I think Cruz is gonna get the decision, honestly. Because I actually watched Cruz versus Garbrandt yesterday just to check up on it, and Cruz actually looked really good with Cody. He looked good. He was the better. Cody was definitely the better fighter, but Dominick Cruz looked like Dominick Cruz still in that fight.
For sure.
And I think styles make fights. You know, Cody put on the performance of his life in that fight, and we'll see.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm probably being biased about the whole Dominick Cruz thing. I just like you said, with the exception of TJ, I just don't think that that Henry Cejudo has ever fought anyone like Dominic. Like they got to like actually do rounds with him. You know, like he didn't get to go rounds with TJ. He literally knocked him out. How fast was it? 13 seconds? 14 seconds? He knocked him out.
We saw that live. We saw that live together.
Yeah, we did see it live. But like I'm saying, I just I feel like that style is gonna be too much for him. Not Downey Henry, because like honestly, he has grown on me. Yes, he's very cringy, and he's an amazing fighter. But I don't think he's gonna be able to strike with Dominic.
Yeah, I think it's gonna it could go 5. I think with Henry is such an unpredictable fighter, man. I really think his fighting style has changed so much since I started watching him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he fights in karate stance now, man. He doesn't kind of square like you see a lot of wrestlers going. You think he's gonna try to take Dominic down? What do y'all think?
I think he does. I think once he sees like how Dominic's like a master of range and getting in and out, I think he's gonna probably like start resorting to wrestling. Because I honestly, not being biased, I just don't think he can strike with Dominic. Like Dominic's striking is just so different. So I'm gonna go and say, yeah, I think he's gonna get outclassed.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a kickboxing fight, honestly, because when you think about it, Joanna versus Weili Zhang is kind of similar because Weili Zhang was a short power puncher, getting her timing in there, and Joanna is the quick one punching in, and it became. And Weili Zhang found her moments, found everything, super close fight, but I just feel like because we saw Colby versus Usman, I thought it would just be like a wrestling. Who's going to get the edge in the wrestling, and it ended up being just a crazy stand-up war. So
one of the best fights I've ever seen.
incredible.
Yeah, that was one of my more favorite fights of last year. I think really what makes UFC 249, at least those two fights at the top, just so compelling and just so attractive for the fan to want to tune in is because, man, the fights could go like really any direction. I mean, we really don't know. I was gonna put some money down, but I don't think I would at this point. I kind of wanted to just kind of take the discussion at this point to just talking more broadly speaking about the event. I mean, I think in all places, the first UFC event would go off during the middle of COVID pandemic is Florida, of course. So they're going to be doing this event as you know. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stipulations or whatever, but there's going to be no crowd. They're reducing staff. I'm sure this whole event is not going to feel like a normal UFC event, not in the slightest bit for the fans or for the fighters. Yeah, let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about how this event could go in the midst of the situation we have going on here. Whoever.
You got it, Ray.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think the card's gonna go well. What was the last card they put on without a crowd? Forget what card it was.
Brazil. Fight night.
Okay, yeah. That card, I mean, it went by smoothly. Like, it's different because there is no crowd or anything like that. But as far as the production-wise and everything looked like it went perfect. I actually kind of like it better because you can hear punch, kicks the kick, everything, the checks. I actually personally like it better. Do you guys like it better? You know?
It was weird. There was a lot of decisions. Do you think that could have been because the crowd can influence finishes? Do you think there's a reason why there's so many decisions? But I feel like with 249, it might be different because it's so many like high level fights.
Yeah.
I think the crowd has a huge impact on not only maybe the judges, but also just the fight itself and where it could go. I mean, you guys have been to UFC fights live. I haven't, but I know that when the crowd is screaming, when the crowd is roaring, and the crowd sees something that it likes, the fighters hear that and they respond to that because they know part of their job is to win, but also to put on a good show too. You know, no one wants to get booed. I don't remember how well the fights went that night. I don't remember there being any. Was it Kevin Lee on that card?
Yeah, there was a lot of decisions. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna affect both, but we just don't know. We just don't know what.
Because like I think about like if Gaethje like drops Tony, if this is in a crowd, everyone would be going crazy, and Gaethje would be like amped up and something. But I feel like if he like drops him in front of no crowd, like what is his mindset? He's like, okay, I dropped him. I'm gonna be reserved now. Like it feels like a spar. I don't know. It's just interesting.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards. I mean, I always personally thought the UFC judges and MMA judges, period, suck. Anyways, I don't know
Yeah.
what they do with their judging. I don't like how the same people who are judging tennis and everything else are the same people who are judging these fights. So I think that's a big issue in the sport right now is just actual MMA judges. We should have people who know a lot about the sport, who are knowledgeable in the sport enough to know, like, if that takedown actually counted or stuff like that. I think that would help the sport out a lot. But, like, as far as it just the crowds booing and all that stuff, I feel like all that stuff has a big factor of the fight.
Do you guys think that, just the fact that it's going to be the only sport on TV that day, that time, do you think that it, like, helps the promotion? Or do you think that people are out of work, maybe they don't have the money to spend on this event? What do we think that the viewership is going to be like?
I mean, I was hoping it would be free because we're all unemployed. Like why not just put on ESPN for everybody? Like, why not? Come on, man. But I mean, I feel like it'll definitely bring more people. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to buy the pay-per-view just because of like the current financial situations. But I mean, this could be like a cultural phenomenon, like this card, possibly. But I mean, we'll see.
It is. It feels like this moment in time where it's gonna be like the only thing that's happening, and all eyes in the sports world are gonna be on UFC on Saturday night. And I really like it. I know that a lot of people think that UFC putting on this card, in the midst of the pandemic is insensitive or unsafe. But Justin Gaethje in the media call that I listened to, and he explained how, he's taking it as an opportunity to, like, give people hope, give people something to watch and, like, truly, like, bring joy to people, because I know we've all been super sad without sports.
No, I agree with that, man. It sucks. We're over here watching quarantine versions of horse games and basketball and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm hoping it all clears up as soon as possible. All the gyms are shut down, and it's a horrible situation. But I mean, that just proves that Dana White works harder than the devil, because for him to be able to put on a show for us just shows how hard he works. So I appreciate it. I know you guys appreciate it. I know everybody's gonna appreciate it because these fights is gonna be legendary, and I cannot wait.
I just hope the card delivers, because, like, I feel like UFC has a curse. Every time everybody's watching the sport, some, like, bad shit happens. Like Khabib and Conor, like, Khabib jumped over the cage and then everybody thought the sport was barbaric. And then, like, freaking when we had Diaz Masvidal, it got ended prematurely. It's just like just our luck. I mean, I hope it delivers. I mean, Dana White, hardest working man in sports.
I heard Dana on an interview yesterday saying, if you buy this fight, I guarantee you will get your money's worth. This main event by itself alone is the greatest thing that we could possibly, put together for the fan. And all I'm thinking of is BMF title, Madison Square Garden. You got a badass main event between two fighters, and it really underdelivered and underperformed because of, I guess, an early stoppage, a judge's stoppage. And we know when Tony fights, there's a lot of blood. His last two fights against Pettis and Cowboy, both were doctor stoppage.
Every Tony Murray fight.
Every single fight Tony's in, everyone gets cut up. So that's like,
I think the only thing that could go wrong is if the judges, like, do something. You've got an early stoppage or something like that. Only the judges and the refs can mess this one up.
That's why I wanted to see Tony fight Khabib, because, like, what happens if Khabib gets that first cut? Because he's never been cut. It's just like the thought. Like Khabib wins the first round, but then you see, like, a gash of blood down, and then you're like, oh, it's happening. Here we go. But it's so unfortunate. But so whatever, man. That's the sport.
Man. All I can say is I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I just hope everything goes off without a hitch. As of recording this, it's Wednesday night. Fighters will be making weight on Friday. I don't anticipate there being any problems with fighters making weight on Friday, at least in our main and co-main. So we should go off without a hitch on Saturday. I'm excited, yo. I'm excited. I'm trying to let my parents, have some people over at the house, but we don't want to be spreading any infectious, deadly diseases here.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. There's so many fights on this card that like could easily main event anything, man. Like I'm excited for Pettis and Cowboy too. I can't fucking
Yes,
wait.
sir.
And it's not even on the main card, right? It's on the prelims.
It's prelims. Verdum on the prelims. Crazy.
Hey, Bryce Mitchell on the prelims.
Hey, gotta give him respect, man.
Yeah, no,
I do like Bryce Mitchell. Before we wrap up here, I know that the UFC, I think they're doing an event next Wednesday and then another one the following Saturday. Is that right? I don't have anything up in front of me, but are you guys aware of their schedule going forward?
I don't think I know the full card, but I think I know the main events. I think one of them is Anthony Smith versus Teixeira. I'm pretty sure, and the other one's Reem versus Walt Harris. I think
they got Woodley and Burns too as the main event, right? May 26th. Woodley versus.
That's confirmed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw some other today.
That's a banger fight, dude.
Awesome fight.
Gilbert Burns, man, that guy's crazy. All over Twitter. Every time someone gets into I'll take it.
We'll be back here. I think Wednesday is a great day to come back and do the show. Shit, I mean, we could probably do a freaking simulcast while UFC is going on next week. That would be cool to do in the background of our show. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a good show. Come back and do. We're just talking about the first couple fights, nothing too crazy. We're gonna have the live stream enabled so that in the coming episodes we're able to talk with you guys. We're gonna have more guests. It's gonna be great. But next Wednesday we'll be talking UFC 249 reaction and just previewing some of the other stuff this week. Y'all got anything you want to say before we get going, boys?
All I was want to say is it's glad to be back with you guys. It's been really fun. Hopefully we can stay consistent with this. I think we're going to be able to do that now. And I'm just excited to watch the fights with you guys and just give everybody our live reaction of what we're about to see. And everyone's going to enjoy this card.
Hey, man, I'm glad we're back. I'm ready to just have a good time, talk shit, see what we got to say. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.